To your help, Halloween just a week away. Lots of people are going to be carving jack-o'-lanterns this weekend. I'm included in there. Hand injuries, as you can imagine, one of the most common injuries seen during this time of the year. So how do you keep your family safe? Dr. Kristen Woodward is here to look at safely carving pumpkins. Let's start with this one here. You know doctors. You hang out in their circles.
Absolutely.
Hand surgeons, everybody knows each other. You said at the hand surgeon decorating carving parties, this is what they do.
They don't carve, they decorate. No carving involved. It's one of the most common injuries we see this time of year. Hand injuries can be very significant because the digital nerves and flexor tendons are very superficial in the hand.
And digital.
They can
See, that's doctor talk for fingers.
Right.
You got your digits there on the end of your hand there.
They can require surgery and months of rehab to get better, and so you really want to take a lot of care. So Hand Surgery Center,
that's
decorate.
What they do.
That's
they decorate
right.
them, and then
that took 5 minutes.
I will say that the new advances of the technology or ways to get us to buy stuff have made it a bit safer. These appear to be a little bit safer as far as carving goes. You know, the tips aren't near as sharp, and they got more teeth, so you're actually sawing, as opposed to this thing over here, which is straight out of a Jamie Lee Curtis movie with a hockey mask. That monster right there.
You want to avoid the sharp knives. The sharper the knife, the harder it is to carve the pumpkin, because the pumpkin is so thick and the knife can get stuck in the pumpkin. You're having to use a lot of force, and when you're using a lot of force, you don't have any control, which increases the risk of injury.
And so we don't want to do that. So
No.
you have some of these things here. Now, what do you guys recommend? Should we go out and buy something like this? What do you guys think?
So I don't think you need to go. You do need to get the specialty tools. You don't need to spend a lot of money. They have these at the grocery store. They're very effective. They're safer. There are some common injuries we see when we're carving pumpkins, and we can talk about those.
Okay, what are they?
So one of the most common is when you're carving the lid. People will hold the pumpkin with their left hand or their non-dominant hand, carve along towards the hand, and they can cut the thumb and the first finger. Okay? So what you want to do is you want to carve away from your hand, and this is true when we're carving the face as well. The other injury we see is we take the lid off, we've cleaned out the middle. Injuries can occur when cleaning out the middle. Some people even use a knife or a very sharp spoon. You can just use your hands to clean out the middle, or just a kitchen spoon.
Or some, you know, you don't have to go crazy with it.
No. And so what you do not want to do is put your hand in to hold the pumpkin when you're carving the face. That's where we see puncture wounds as well. So lacerations, puncture wounds, the #1 injury. Now they do have some specialty tools too. It's like an introducer, which really eases the ability to carve onto the pumpkin. So you can just stick this into the pumpkin, and then you've started your design, and it's easier to carve down once that's introduced. You want to keep your hand away.
Like look at the thickness of this little knife.
Right.
And then you know, compared to something like this, you can just use something like that. So parents, let your kids have at it, but give them something safe to use. Dr. Kristen, that's good advice. So guys, I know we're going to be carving these this weekend, and now we know how to do it safely. As far as what the design is, that's all up to you. I'll send it back inside you. I'm a big fan of the triangle eyes.
Absolutely.
Anything that's easier to do, right guys? Have you carved yours yet, Natalie?
We have not carved yet, but we will be soon. By the way, have some breaking news that we need